Okay, so I'm going to say something that's going to offend you. Are you ready? Being a mom is harder than being a doctor. Okay? Because you know why? You can clock out at your job. You might even be on call and not work. But when you're a mom, there's no pay, but it's all work, all the time. And if you look like shit, people are like, oh my god, she looks like she's on drugs. If you like put makeup on, people are like, oh my god, she has no real problems. And look at this abscess. It hurts. It just fucking hurts. I could probably squeeze some pus out of it right now. Okay? I got $10,000 in work I need on my teeth. I just took my kids, all of them, to the doctor. And the first couple visits with this girl were okay. She wore a dress every time. And that was like odd to me. I've been really fucking tired. And I haven't really been paying attention to a lot of things because my mind is other places. But I have noticed that every time I've seen this girl, she's been wearing a dress. So I think, okay, she must not get her hands dirty. She must not have anything that doesn't happen according to her plan basically ever in her life. She has a very small world. There's only a couple people in it. And she likes it that way. I have no use for someone like that as my doctor. I have a huge world. I have tons of people in it. And I care what everybody thinks in my world. And I respect people that have a difference of opinion or a different approach or a different perspective that varies from my own. I like that. I'm a woman. I'm used to guys telling me what to do. Okay? I'm used to pushing back if I disagree or asking questions if I'm not clear. I've never just like done something anyone's told me ever, man or woman. But I am more accustomed to guys coming along and being like, look here, figure your shit out, get your shit together, you're fucking it up, you gotta do this or that. And me being like, oh, you know what? Yeah, right, you're right. So to try to summarize this visit and just talk about the things that she did wrong. She took a picture of my kid without asking, right? She said, I need to take a picture of your daughter. I'm just going to take a picture. That's where she fucked up. That was like the final straw for me. Being like, oh, wow, I'm going to kill this bitch. You don't take pictures of people's kids without asking, like, first of all. Okay. And then you don't, like, that's it. You ask, and then you wait to see if they say it's okay. And if they don't, then you don't. And that's it, right? So, what else did she do? I declined vaccines, and then she asked if I wanted a social worker to come in. I was like, oh wow, I'm going to kill this woman. And then she came back in the room to take a picture of my daughter's hemangioma, which surgeons freak out about hemangiomas. They're like, oh my god, yes, I could cut it off. Slice half of it off, do the other half in 6 months. You'll have a conservative approach. It'll be a great outcome. It'll look like nothing. Just leave it alone. Just fucking leave the hemangioma alone. She's 3 months old, you sick fucks. I'm not giving her a medication for anything unless she's sick. She's not sick. She's got a birthmark. It's a fucking birthmark. Chill out. Leave it alone, okay? Then my one daughter, Phoebe, needs a helmet. The lady tries lying to me and says, oh yeah, it'll only be a couple months. Lie. Lie. I always try to feign ignorance when I go to the doctor and just be like, oh, I have no idea what that is. Because they're always going to be like, oh, let's see what we can get this bitch to agree to. I got myself lunch. I still haven't eaten it. Because I'm all like fucking turned up. People can do shit to me. Doesn't bother me. When you try to cut my kids down, I will destroy you. So my children were like, technically 3 weeks premature. They were born like at 36 and 6. So right around 37 weeks. That's about 3 weeks to a month early. Okay. So when I'm like, okay, well, how much do they weigh? How long are they? Because I just weighed and measured both of my babies. And Mary was 14.8 and 23 and a half inches. And Phoebe was 22. It's kind of hard to get an accurate measurement because she wiggles a lot. Phoebe was 22 and a half inches. And she weighed 14.8 and 12.6. And I remember both of these numbers because they were over the average. So I'm like, okay, this is great. So what do you know? The lady tries being like, oh wow, they're in the 13th percentile. I'm like, are you grading them based off of them being preemies or off of them just being like a regular baby? And she's like, oh well, with the preemie number is this. I'm like, you can't just decide that they're a month older than they are. They are young. They have a younger and an adjusted gestational age for a reason. Like, what is the point of your job? Why? Who is this person? Why? What? That was the first thing that she did. I was like, oh wow, I'm gonna kill her. My daughter Mary is in the 92nd percentile, and then dropped down to like the 30th percentile. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Something isn't adding up because my babies are huge. They're enormous. They look big. They're absolutely massive. And you're going to actually think that me as a mother, I'm going to be okay with, oh yeah, you can slide my baby down from 92nd percentile to the 30s just because, oh, you forgot that they're a month premature? And then the cherry on top, she wanted to put a medication on the hemangioma on my daughter without doing a biopsy, which my dad brought that up, and that's 100% accurate. How could you possibly think of putting medication on an unusual thing like a hemangioma without first testing it to make sure that you're not going to irritate it or do anything to it? These people are crazy. These people are fucked up. Lying to me about the helmet only being a couple months. People are in those fucking things for years and years and years. You don't want a helmet unless you absolutely need one. And it seems to me like people out here just want their kids to be perfect fours, rather than just like, it's okay to be ugly when you're a kid. I don't know like who told everyone that you have to be like a smoke show when you're like 6 years old. You don't. Kids just need to look like kids. They don't need to have fake teeth or perfect teeth. Nothing has to be perfect when you're a kid. You're a kid. You have so much time to figure out how to style yourself and how to look attractive as you get older. There's no reason for children to feel pressure to be attractive from a young age. Because this girl, I can tell, has been treated like a princess her whole life. I've never seen a doctor in a dress. Never fucking once. And it's like a, ankle length dress. I'm just like, where am I? Why are you surely are not a doctor? Why are you trying to tell me that I should vaccinate my kids, threaten me with a social worker, and then come back in, take a picture without fucking permission and say, oh yeah, I really think it's a good idea for you to give your kid this medication for a fucking birthmark. Actually die. Actually, like, if you're so into fashion, there are so many places that she could take her, whatever that is, and help other people look like they grew up on My Little Prairie or whatever that fucking thing's called. I just, yeah, being a mom is so hard, and it's so crazy when you're around doctors and they're like, yeah, my job's so hard. I'm like, bro, let's fucking trade places, because doing puzzles all day trying to figure out, what's your problem? Oh, could it be this? Could it be that? That's fun as shit. Cleaning up the same messes all day long, having to be patient when you're not feeling patient. Like, this girl was pissed the whole visit, and I'm like, why is this girl so angry? Like, what is she mad about? Because my kid was running around, and she kept trying to get my daughter. She was like, why don't you sit down and read a book? I'm like, because she can't read. She just turned 3. She's a big 3, but she knows a couple words. It's just so crazy to me. People are like, oh yeah, I started reading at 3. If you mean by the right before you turn 4, then sure, I believe you. No kid 2 turning 3 is like able to just like, oh, okay, mother, I'm just going to sit and Oh, yes, you'll sleep soundly over there. Okay, Mom, I'm just entertaining myself. Like a 14-year-old instead of a 3-year-old. So anyway, it's why it's so important for your doctor to have children. If they don't have kids, they're basically useless and stupid. And even if they do have kids, unless they have like an active role in the child rearing, they have no experience. I've done so much research on things in my life, and it's so different when you actually go out and do the field work, regardless of what it is. I've done so much training in coffee, and it's so different when you actually do it. I've done so much research in scientific endeavors, and like testing your theories is usually very different than how you think they're going to go when you're just like writing your hypotheses. So it's just so crazy to me that I'm always having to like constantly like prove myself to people. I've never given a shit what people think about me. I know that I'm great. I know that I'm awesome. It's just crazy to me to see an adult woman try to cut down a baby and be like, oh no, she doesn't, like, she's just treating her like she's already like a grown up and she's 3 months old and a preemie. And like, can't you just give her the W? Can't you just like let them be the 92nd percentile? Like, is everyone so threatened? It was the same thing with Brooke. Brooke was in the 99th percentile, which made everyone in the hospital flip out. And at every subsequent appointment that I went to, the measurements and the weights that I had at home were completely off at the hospital because some bitch didn't want her kid to be below my daughter. She's not even from here. Oh, if you only knew. If you only knew. So yeah, I that's why I weigh and measure them before I go, and I'm just like, it's so crazy that they just try to write stuff down incorrectly and be like, okay, well that's the weight that I got, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna switch to another doctor and not deal with you again, because it's so important for your kid to have an accurate reflection of their growth, and when you're not charting it correctly because you have some like ego boost of like, oh, I want my kid to be the biggest or the best. My kid is the biggest and the best. And my preemie babies are still in the 92nd percentile. I'm so proud of myself. Like, can't I just like feel good and great? I've been busting my ass to do this. And it's just so crazy to me to see other women like so willing to like cut other women down. I don't try to do that to anybody. That's never been my style. Never. That's not how I roll. So I hope that the new doctor is good. I have to call again. I might just have to go in there because like the woman did so many. I think that's everything crazy that she did that I was just like, is she retarded or something? It just, what people think, the world is so different before you have kids. I had that attitude, not that as bad as she has it, but I had elements of it when I was younger. And you think, oh, everything would be better if you just like knuckled down and stayed up late and cleaned and made this difference. Like, yes, if it's just you that you're cleaning up after, you could make a huge difference in your life in one day of one all-nighter, right? But as soon as you start adding other kids and other pets and other relationships into your like day-to-day life, stuff can either take a lot longer or it can go really fast depending on the age of your children. But when kids are little, they're entirely dependent. They need me to do everything. They need me to eat. They need me to poop. They need me to bathe. They need me to burp. Every single thing that they feel, everything that they're doing, I'm facilitating. And I love it. It's awesome, but it's so hard to put yourself in that position and understand what it really is like. I was really tough on one of my friends when I was in my 20s, but even I, looking at her life and being like, oh wow, I don't know what it would be like to have 4 kids, but it looks really fucking hard. So before I tell her what to do and how to do it, why don't I just see what she's doing and observe, right, before I have an antidote or a prescription of something she needs to do differently, because I don't even know what the situation is. And that's like half of the gig as a doctor, and that's what doctors are supposed to learn. They're supposed to like watch and observe and watch more procedures than they do, and you're supposed to be paying attention. It's not supposed to be this like, oh my god, when is it my turn kind of a thing. So yeah, I was very befuddled by the whole exchange today. Yeah, I just, life is totally different than what you think it is. As a kid, it looks one way. When you're a young adult, you think you know everything, and then, you know, when you experience some hardships, you're like, oh wow, okay, I shouldn't have talked shit about those moms or other people being weak, because God's listening. God's like, okay, you think you're so fucking strong? You're next. So I know what's happening when people are doing stuff like that, because they feel like they could handle the situation better. And if you can, God will give you an opportunity to see if you would handle it better or worse. And there's some things that you are right about. You know, it's not okay to like yell at your kids or get frustrated, take your anger out on your children. But like the day to day, always coming up with activities for your children to do, trying to keep them positively engaged and mentally stimulated, making sure they have enough fun things to do so that they're seeking positive forms of interaction rather than negative, you know, like making messes and stuff like that. So it's just a lot of fucking work, and there's no pay. The rewards are massive. You feel good. You get to see all these wonderful smiles. Your kids are in the 92nd percentile and the 69th percentile, respectively. Haha. And yeah, so it's par for the course that women who are raised to feel like they're like pretty princesses are going to have that attitude where like they're the prettier princess than you. And we're all pretty princesses, right? Like everybody can be pretty and like royal, but part of being a ruler is like ruling with graciousness, not like an iron fist or like forcing people to do things just because you want them to do it, because they're doing it because it's the right thing to do. And it's like everything's different for everybody. Everything can be so individualized, so it's so hard to just like give rules about stuff. But yeah, a rule for me: you don't take pictures of my kids, I don't take pictures of your kids. And if I do want to take a picture of your kid, I'm gonna ask and I'm gonna wait. And if you don't respond, that's an answer. That means no. If you do respond and you say, I'm uncomfortable, can you delete it after? You just do whatever anyone asks you, because it's their kid, right? Questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to let me know.